Hey YouTube, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to do this, how to screen record and put your face in a little talking bubble at the same time for the purpose of adding a personal touch to your video tutorials. Let's get into it. Okay, so the secret to getting your head in the bubble and keeping it centered on your screen is, of course, to use the Osmo Pocket 3. Now, I like to use the Osmo Pocket 3 in combination with Capcut, and that's how I do my talking head tutorials. So obviously, I got the Osmo Pocket 3, and you can prop it up, but I like to put on this little extension pole, which brings it closer to eye level. Now, what I like to do is just put it right here next to my laptop. And what I typically do is I open this bad boy up, and I'm gonna wanna put active track. So I'll just double click my face so that the gimbal is going to follow my head around. And the reason that's important is because I want my head to remain center of the frame so that when I move around, my head doesn't come out of that little bubble in the bottom of the screen. So screen recording and recording yourself on the Osmo Pocket 3 is absolutely perfect for doing tutorial videos, which is what I'm doing right now, obviously. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. So I got my Osmo Pocket 3 with the active track on. And of course, videos are no good without good audio, and luckily for the Osmo Pocket 3 creator combo, it comes with the DJI mic too. So what I like to do is you can either take this brick and stick it on your shirt, it's kind of annoying, or you can get a lavalier mic, plug it into this, stick this thing in your pocket, and have a little lav mic, which is a little less obtrusive. Or what I like to do is just take this DJI mic 2, turn it into the on position, stick it right here on this mic adapter, and then I like to stick this onto a double magic arm. Now I'm going to position this, and I'm going to clamp it. I'm going to clamp one end onto my desk and the other end onto this mic adapter so that the microphone is near my mouth, so I'm not having to worry about the audio or bumping into a mic or whatnot. So I'll just clamp this right here onto the edge of my desk. I do like to put that little foam piece on there just so it looks cool if it happens to come into the frame. And then just like that, I have the mic near my face. I got the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. And so I'm gonna go ahead and hit record. So I have record on my Osmo Pocket 3, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring you into my screen here. So I have this app that I downloaded. It's called Screen Record by Omni. All right, so on my Mac screen, I'm going to go ahead and come down here to this. I have this app. It's called Screen Record by Omni, and I downloaded it. I think I paid $9 a month for it, but it works very well. So up here, you can go to select screen, and then over here you can set your parameters. So I like to set 24 frames per second, 4K. I got a countdown. I do like to capture the mouse cursor, and it is going to be pulling audio from the studio display. This is important so that we can sync up the audio and video later. So I'll go ahead and hit record. It's going to give me the countdown. And so once I hit record on both my Mac screen and the Osmo Pocket 3, I'm going to want to give it 3 loud claps. And what this is going to do is it's going to sync the audio. It's going to make it easier to sync the audio in post. So I can now you can see my screen, and you can see my little head inside of the screen. And this is how I do my CapCut tutorials, where I can come down and I can open up CapCut inside of the screen. And this is how I do my CapCut tutorials, where I can come down and I can open up CapCut. And it's going to just show you everything that's on my screen. And it's going to record my voice on both the Mac and the Osmo Pocket 3 at the same time. And you can see that as I move my head from left to right, as long as I don't go too fast, the Osmo Pocket 3 is going to keep my head center of the frame. This is good because as I'm meditating, especially long sessions, my head kind of moves around, and it's good just to keep that in the bubble, so I'm not having to worry about the framing on my person, right? So after you have your Osmo Pocket footage recorded, you then have to transfer those files onto your computer so that you can then bring them into CapCut for the edits. And I'll show you how I do that. I just simply get my Osmo Pocket 3, get the little USB-C that came with the Pocket, and plug it into the USB-C on your MacBook. So once you have your Osmo plugged in, you're going to want to turn that on, and then the Osmo is going to go into file transfer mode, and then you'll see up here on the screen, it's going to, you'll see this SD drive up there. So what you're going to want to do is double click that, and you're going to want to go ahead and put this little window off to the side of your Mac. I'm sorry. You're going to want to drag this little window to one side of your Mac screen. And I like to record all of my footage right here in this Capcut folder that I created on my desktop. So I'm going to come over here to YouTube, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder called How I Screen Record. All right, so once I have this open, I'm going to open up a new folder called OP3. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and have that folder open and ready to go. So now over here on my Osmo Pocket 3, I'm gonna go to DCIM DJI 001, and I'm just gonna find the clips from today, and I'm just gonna highlight only the MP4 files. MP4 1, 2, 3. I'm holding command and I'm highlighting these, and then what I can do is essentially drag all of these files into the folder at once, and it's now going to copy into that folder, and then we just wait and let it upload. Okay, so now that's uploaded, I can go ahead and close my Osmo Pocket 3, and I'm going to come up here, I'm going to right click, eject SD card. Now I can unplug the Osmo Pocket 3 and just turn it off and put it to the side. Now I'm going to go ahead and swing you around and try to show you a view of what the screen record software does and how to transfer those files. So before I do, I'm going to go ahead and go back, and I'm going to make a new folder called Screen Records. I'm going to have that folder open and ready to go, and I'm just going to bring you over here, and I'm just going to show you how this works, because as soon as I push stop, then my screen's going to disappear on your screen. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. So I have my screen record open. Now as soon as I push the stop button, you'll see the files of the screen records that I made today. And so what I simply do is, with my Capcut folder open where I want to save these screen records, I now have Omni's going to generate these files and just have them in this files list right here. So what I'm going to do is just simply grab the screen records from today. This right here is a screen record that we just jumped out of. So I'm just going to go ahead and select that, hold command, and I'm just going to drag those right here into this folder. So now those are transferred into my project folder. So now we can go ahead and go into CapCut, and I can show you how I edit those files. Okay, so now that we have our files, our main screen and our talking head on the screen at the same time, we're going to go ahead and jump into CapCut. And of course, I'm going to go to create new project. Right out of the gate, I'm going to go to modify and make sure I'm at 16:9 or whatever aspect ratio that you would like. Of course, you got to name it so you remember what it is. 24 frames per second. So my screen record was recorded at 24 frames per second. The camera, my Osmo Pocket 3, was set to record at 24 frames per second. And so I want to make sure that I choose a 24 frame per second timeline. This is important because if you choose something else like 30, 60, or anything else that's not 24 frames per second, it's possible that your footage could look jittery when you go to play back this video. So I'm going to go to save, and now over here I can go to import. I'm going to navigate to that folder. Let's see, YouTube, how I screen record, and I'm just going to double click this entire folder so that both my screen records and my Osmo Pocket 3 footage are imported. That folder I created is now here, so I can double click that. All right, so once I have my footage open, I got my screen records and I got my Osmo Pocket 3. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my screen records, and I'm going to go ahead and select the track that I want to use. So this is my screen record, boom. I'm going to go back to my Osmo Pocket 3, and I'm going to select my talking head portion that I recorded. I'm going to go ahead and add that in there. And now, so what I want to do is create two different layers on my timeline. So what I can do is grab this talking head portion and drag it up. The screen below it is the track that I want below, and this is important, and I'll show you why in just a second. So now what I want to do is I want to in space get my mouse cursor, and I want to click and hold the left cursor, and you can see this little box as I hold down the clicker and I drag around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag up, select both tracks, and then I'm going to right click and I'm going to hit the sync audio and video. Now this is where having the 3 loud claps comes into play. If you don't do the claps, Capcut may have a hard time syncing the audio and video. I don't edit on anything else, so I can't say if Final Cut or Adobe does any better. I like to use Capcut, and Capcut never misses as long as you have the 3 claps. In fact, you can see right here on the waveform of each clap, you can see how the loud claps are perfectly in sync. So now what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go ahead and start the video right here. So I'm going to go ahead and trim both clips, boom and boom, and with both clips split, synced up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and select these 2 clips that I want to use for the video. I'm going to right click and I'm going to hit create compound clip. So the reason I'm going to do that is because I'm going to delete this track, and as you can see, they're different lengths because I hit record at 2 different points of time. So if I just try to delete just the bottom one, the top won't follow it. So with this compound clip created, I can now delete these first 2 and the whole thing moves to the front. Now once I have both clips in sync and the way that I want them, I think I'll go ahead and trim the end as well, is I can undo the compound clip. And now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and remove the audio from my screen record because it's picking that audio up off of my studio display. And obviously the sound coming from the DJI Mic 2 is much better. So I'm just going to drag that down. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this top track and I'm going to go up to this video tab and I'm going to go to this mask in video and then mask. So in the mask, I'm going to want to select the circle. You can do a square, a star. I guess you can really do a heart, right? Let's do a heart just to show you. I'm going to do a heart. So boom, heart. So now that I have this, I need to get this into the bottom of my screen, right? So what I can do now is select out of there. Look at my head in the heart. And then reselect the whole clip. Or actually, I'm sorry, go back to basic. And then it's going to highlight this entire screen. And now from here, what I could do is I can take this little heart and I can move it anywhere that I want, and I can drag it down. So typically I have a circle and I just drag it down right here. But today I have a heart, and so the heart I'm going to put right here. And that's it. So now as this video plays, my head is going to stay right in the center of that heart because the Osmo Pocket 3 is keeping me center of the frame, right? If I had a static camera and I was moving my head around like this, then I would lose myself out of that bubble. So that's literally it. That's all there is to it. From here, you can make your clip, your cuts. So what I typically do when I make my videos is I do this exact process, and then usually I have multiple tracks. And so what I like to do is just right click and hit copy attributes and then paste that onto my next talking head clip so that the shape and size and orientation of my little floating head is exactly the same across my videos. So from this point, I can just create a compound clip, and then once you have your compound clip created, this allows you to then edit that talking head portion. Like let's say I wanted to remove these dead spaces, right? I can remove the dead spaces and I still stay right here in the corner. And this is what I do when I edit my videos. Sometimes if like I have something on the screen that's going on, let's say like there was something going on here but I didn't want it to disappear. So instead of making it disappear, in order to shorten the video, I'll hit Command B here, Command B here. I'll select that, I'll go to speed, and then I'll just speed that up. So what that's going to do is it's going to cut out the short parts. So you could just do jump cuts. Like I can just take this part and just cut that out and it jumps. But when you're doing a video tutorial, sometimes you don't want to remove the action that you have going on the screen, because that's the point of the video, is to talk about what's going on the screen. So in those cases, I like to speed up those parts so the video isn't ungodly long. And then of course you can cut out the dead spaces where there's no talking and there's nothing really important going on the screen. So that's basically it. Once you have your video just the way you want it, you can go up to this export right here. you select your folder. I usually navigate back to the same folder, the same job folder where I have my original files, right? So I'll go back into YouTube, how I screen record, and then usually in this folder I'll create a new one that says export, right? And then I'll export to there. And of course, I'll export in 4K for the highest quality possible, which will look great on YouTube. Or if you're going to share to social media, you can do 2K, 1080, whatnot. But I usually go for 4K. Make sure you're at 24 frames per second when you export. Hit the export button, and it's done. So easy peasy. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.